Okay, so I had to go live this way, which I didn't want to. I wanted to go live on my computer, but I have to figure this shit out because it was working me. So anyway, yeah. Okay, so like tonight, I wanted to talk about the misconception, I guess, of like dark spirits, dark forces, things of that nature. Um, yeah. I think I got it now. Look at all them little fonts and stuff. I like. I think I'm gonna do this one. Okay, so there are some most common misconceptions about dark spirits, dark forces, stuff like that. So I wanted to do this video to kind of talk about some of them. Um, just some misconceptions, I guess, like in myths and stuff. And so, like, the first one that I'm going to, like, talk about, I guess, is, oh shit, how do I get out of this? Okay. The first one I'm going to talk about is, like, if you don't believe in dark spirits or dark forces, then you're not going to pick them up. I used to have this thing where I was like, I don't believe in it. And just because you don't necessarily believe in it doesn't exactly mean that it's not true. So if you don't believe in dark spirits or anything like that or dark forces, then you're not gonna pick them up. That's false. Just because you've chosen not to believe in them, in the attachment of the dark forces or spirits, it doesn't mean that you can't pick them up. That's like saying if you don't believe in cancer, then you can't get it. And that's not true. If you've chosen to like deny the existence of dark forces or spirits, there's nothing wrong with it. That's fine. However, that only causes you to stay unaware of the truth. You may end up having some type of dark force or spiritual attachment, but because you've chosen not to believe in it, then you'll ultimately end up living your entire life with them and you never let them go. Um, Dark forces and spirits are not a belief. They're kind of like a fact of life. Now, let me say this and let me be clear about this. That doesn't necessarily mean that, you're evil and you're going to hell and nothing crazy like that. But they're out there and it's really easy to get attached or them to attach themselves to you if you're not doing cleansing. Especially people who are doing spiritual work and stuff like that. I'm trying to find a good angle. Especially people who are into like spiritual work and stuff like that. You need to be cleansing yourself a lot. I used to didn't cleanse myself a lot, and then I did start. So that's another thing. Like if you're a spiritual worker or something like that, please be sure to cleanse yourself, like a lot. Dark forces, they will. What's the word? Dark forces and dark entities, they dwell on your weakness, so to speak. Um, they dwell on your weakness. They like to eat away at your weakness. They love that. They love to make you feel bad, and your I guess like the fears and like the part that's like a low self-esteem or something like that, or something that's bothering you, or something that somebody has fed into you, that's what they feed off of. The next thing is like there are no demons and dark forces and spirits or angels or a god. They can only exist in life on earth, and that's false too. Beyond like the physical dimension of life on earth, there are things which non-physical, which are both dark and light. Human beings can't see kind of like beyond that dimension of life. And they're like trapped on a conscious level. Their consciousness is trapped on a physical dimension. Hello. Like for example, if you kind of like lived in like a small area or like a small town, and you're only allowed to live in that town, then there are no televisions, no cars, no big buildings, nothing like that. You spent your whole entire life in that town. And it's all you knew. In fact, you would also believe strongly that what's in that town was all there is in life. And if someone new came to the town and they told you that there was a thing called city and they had some cars and airplanes and stuff like that, you wouldn't believe them. In fact, you'll probably call their ass crazy. You wouldn't believe them because you spent your whole life in a limited environment. And most times, that's how most of us are, especially the ones that were born and raised in being a Christian. It's a very limited sense, a very limited being, because you haven't been really exposed to a lot. So you think that can't possibly happen. Or if you're a Christian, they tell you that what you seeing, you're crazy, or you must be a bad person and it's the devil. I don't think that is it, because I believe in generational curses. I believe that a lot of people are suffering today behind things that their ancestors have done. I truly, truly believe that. And that's why a lot of people can't get over stuff, or they don't understand why their life is going a certain way, and they doing cleansing and they doing all of this stuff, and they're still going through things. And so I believe that the dimension of the physical and non-physical of life, that people who have not gone beyond that physical dimension, they're trapped within it, and they're trained to believe that that's all that exists. And that, unfortunately, is what Christianity can do to you. It will give you a hey guys, it will give you a limited amount of everything, unfortunately. The next thing that a myth about it is only atheists or like non-religious people or like sinners or heathens can pick up spirits that are from like demonic or dark forces. And that's false too. You know, all people can pick up spirits, and good or bad, regardless of their age, their sex, their intelligence level, their consciousness level, their religious preference, financial status, personality, hair color, whatever. This is made up of religious beliefs that create to keep people who believe it trapped again in their belief and unaware of the truth. Another misconception, and I got a dress on, so it's not like I'm naked under here. Well, I don't wear drawers, but you know what I'm saying. Another misconception is like spirits and dark forces and stuff like that can be removed with spells and chanting and mantra and Reiki and sound and prayer and some salt. That's kind of false too. You have to understand something. It has to be understood that when a spirit or like a dark entity or something like that decides to attach itself to you or anything else, it's not going to leave you without being forced to leave. So you guys can sage your house and sage your car and take 15 spiritual cleansing baths. You can do all that all you want to. But unless you really get some really strong work, and I'm not saying that magic won't do it. I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying that methods used by other religions won't do it either. But you need some strong stuff, because most times when entities attach themselves to you, they attach themselves to you for life. It's like to death. Or unless you can come up with some type of action to seriously force it to leave, it's not going to go nowhere. That's why y'all can cleanse yourself, and y'all constantly have to cleanse yourself over and over again, because it's still there. You might make it flee a little bit, but it's not going to leave you. It'll just flee for a little bit. So that's something else that I wanted to talk about, because what can kill it too, because spirits and dark forces can only be removed with energy stronger than themselves. Now, this energy that I'm going to tell you that can remove this dark spirit is going to blow your mind. Well, maybe. The energy is love. Love is the only thing that's more powerful than fear and all fear-based beings, energies, thoughts, and emotions. But you have to know how to use love in the correct way. Now, y'all can disagree with me all you want to. You can leave the comments down below. I'm okay with that. I'm telling you, fear is a killer, but love truly is a healer, and especially in this situation. Love covers a multitude of faults. It can also clear them up as well. Anything you use or do which does not invoke a supreme power of energy of love, it will not work for you. That's how you're able truly to be cleansed, truly get it away from you, truly to make it disappear. It has to be love. I told a story to the people that are in my infinite energy group, and I'll tell it to you, and this is how I know that this can happen. I asked one time, well, actually several times, I wanted to know who my goddess was, who is my deity. And I had a dark energy that has been attached to me since I was like 7. And I used to feel like something was choking me, or somebody was choking me. And at first I thought it was my mama. But it wasn't her. It was this dark entity that had been around me like my whole life. And I think my skin, I get chills when I talk about it. I don't know, y'all can't see my chills, but I get chills when I talk about this. So we had moved into our house, the house that we in now, the house that I'm recording in right now. And we had moved into my house, and I was like, I want to know who my deity is. I want to connect to her. I want to connect to my ancestors. You know how we get when we, be all spiritual and shit. So I was like, I want to connect. So for months and months and months and months, I was doing things to connect to that entity. I was doing a lot of things to connect to it. And so in the process of that, thank you. In the process of that, hello, Miss Vivian. So in the process of that, I kept like dedicating and everything until finally one night we didn't have internet in the house. So I had to use my my phone. You know how y'all use your phone and shit. So I had to use my phone. So I used my phone to I'm looking at other shit too. So I used my phone to be a hotspot for my laptop so I could work at home. Excuse me. So I do that. And I guess I must have used it too much because my phone went out. It was like freaking completely dead. And so I couldn't, it wouldn't even charge. I had drained it that bad. So I left my phone in the living room. I come in here to my bedroom, and I did not have, like, I have this right here now by my bed. I did not have it here at the time. And I'm kind of glad I'm in here so y'all can see what actually happened. So literally this is what happened. So I'm in my bed, I'm laying down, I'm asleep. My husband had to go to work, like, good evening, honey. So my husband had to go to work like at 4 o'clock in the morning. So it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. And so I get in the bed, he leave. Okay, great, blah, 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 blah. So I must have been like in a trance, so to speak, because I was like laying here, but I was asleep, but I wasn't asleep, but I was asleep. And so, all of a sudden I felt this presence over me like that. And so my phone vibrate, right? But remember, my phone was in the living room. My phone wasn't in here, and that wasn't in here. So I literally reached to like grab my phone to see who texted me. And he literally went to grab my hand. And so when he grabbed my hand, like I panicked, and all I could get out was like that's all I could get out. Right at that time, it looked like a younger version of me, like a gypsy, sort of. Like, that's how I could kind of remember it. And she reached across the bed and grabbed him and snatched him and drove him on where she was. And she started spinning around real fast. And as she was spinning around real fast, he disappeared. Well, as I'm looking at this happening, I'm like inching deeper and deeper in the cover. I'm like this, because I'm like, oh shit. We all say we want this experience, and then when we get it, we like scared shitless, because nothing scares me, but this shit scared the shit out of me. So I'm like in the cover and shit, and I like look up in the doorway, and I see this huge, it looks like a giant. Like, it looked like a fucking giant. And it was Isis. And her wings were so long and big. And there was like this bright ass light, this lavender light. And it was like some stuff that... It was like some stuff that you see like in the movies. The light was so bright, but it didn't hurt my eyes. And I was still inching deeper and deeper in the covers because my nerves was bad at that point. And I was like, shit, am I really seeing this? And right when I'm saying this in my mind, she started dancing and snatched his ass again. The scene replays because it's as if they wanted me to know that this is real. This really happened, and I want you to see this. So that it looked like me, or it looked like it could have been my daughter. I'm not sure, because she had just left. So literally, the thing started dancing again. The gypsy had started dancing again, and she danced all over this room, baby. She was in her zone. I'm so serious. She was in her zone. And so literally at the door, Isis was still standing there or floating there. Well, I ain't had no panties on, Vivian, but I was damn near close. And so she was still standing there while this other entity, or I don't know who it could have been me or my daughter. I'm not sure, but it was a younger version of me, if that makes sense. A younger version. And so it looked like Isis stood up taller and bitch spread her wings. And when she spread them, it went from like one end of my room to like the other end of my room. And it was like truly the most humbling experience I've ever experienced in my whole entire life. To be able to witness something in that type of magnitude. I have been asking for months. It was totally my fault because I wanted to see. I wanted to know. Keep in mind, I had been a natural witch for many years, and I never had a deity or anything like that. I just normally used, whatever I manifested. So for this to happen like that, this was in October of 2016. It's 2017 now. This just happened to me. And for a minute, I didn't know who she was. I thought it was Medusa. Because the way her hair... when I think about it, it gives me chills. The way her hair kind of flowed. But it wasn't. Because Medusa don't have wings. And the wings was so long. Like, it looked like an airplane. Like... I couldn't even see the roof of the door. Like, if I keep... Okay. So that's the front. That's the door I'm talking about. So she's literally big and as tall as everything. Like, it overwhelmed, like, this room. All down the hallway. It was... I ain't never seen nothing like that before. Like, never, never, never. And I haven't had that dark entity to come back since. Like, she took them away. So that's my little story time for that. That's my little story time for that. So, what did I end off at? Yeah, the energy to kill the dark spirit is like love. Believe it or not, love. You just can't say leave me or like go away to them and they'll just do that. And really and truly too, when you first start becoming one or in tune with your consciousness, with that moving and maneuvering energy, that they will come out. They will totally come out. Hey, Lucretia, you say you finally called me live. Well, yeah. I have live on my phone, but I wanted to do live on my computer, so I still got to work some kinks out. And I'm not the most techno savvy person like that. Like you guys are, and that's awesome. I'm not. But anyway, let me see. Oh, yeah, with the spirits. So they have to be taken and they need to go. Depending on what type of entity it is, believe it or not, you can call it out and ask him what his name is and he'll tell you. This kind of correlates with hoodoo and being a Catholic. The Catholic Church actually recognizes hoodoo as a religion. That's where the exorcism and stuff comes in. Hoodoo. I don't know if you guys knew that. I thought I would throw it in there. That's why they say that removing spirits and dark forces is not an easy task, especially if you're not using the correct method, a form of energy. Anything like most spirits are removals and they calling them exorcisms and depossession methods. They don't work because they're not using the right thing. Love kills all. Because a lot of the dark entities are things that we've manifested in our minds, that we've manifested them in our spirits, we've manifested them in our hearts, we've given them life to live. And every time we fear something or fear somebody or fear a thing, we're making it even bigger. People ask me all the time when I'm doing readings and stuff for them and such, I just can't get it right. What do I need to do? And the first thing I say is you got to pluck the root. Because if you never pluck the root, you'll continue to relive that experience over and over and over again. So I think that, yeah, it is. So I think that it's really prevalent that you kind of deal with it. Because if you don't deal with it, it'll keep dealing with you. That's why you will see so many, this little sideburn right here. That's why you see, look at that, just sticking out of shit on my nerves. So that's why you see so many people, the grandmama, the mom, the daughter, they all have kids. And it's like a stir step, the same thing over and over again. Nobody's breaking it. Because what the grandmama did was put her fears and her insecurities into her daughter. And the daughter put all of her insecurities into her daughter. And it's just a vicious cycle. Yeah. So the next thing is spirits, dark demons, dark forces are something that you should fear. I'm going to tell you false. This is false. And I'm going to tell you why. Maybe in the past it's taught by ministers or like priests, or like your church and your mama and, oh, that's the devil and you going to hell. And again, we're talking about stuff that's been implanted into our minds on how stuff really is. Demons and spirits are not something to fear. I'm going to be honest with you. I use dark energy to create and manifest a lot of things. But instead, there is something you have to understand. You have to understand that energy. If you fear them, then you've chosen to give them power. It's just like my granddaughter. She's quick to say that, don't turn the light off, mommy. I'm scared of the dark. because her mama done implanted in her head that if you be bad and I turn this lights off, something's going to happen to you. So it's really hard for me to break her out of this so that she's not afraid of the darkness. She's not afraid of the fear. Not magically speaking, but just, reality speaking. We give a lot of stuff power. People power. You go, well, I can't leave him because he doing, girl, all you need to do is act crazy one good goddamn time. Got another story. Since we on live, I got another story. My ex, well, one of my exes, he used to like to slap me and hit me in my mouth and would tell me that what I said wasn't important. And I believed him. So I would not really talk that much. And when I would talk, he would get on me. He was like, what did I say? Did I say shut the fuck up? And I'd be like, me telling somebody to letting somebody do me like that. But there was a point in time in my life that I did. One day he pushed me down on the floor and I was like, fuck. And so I was like, when he pushed me on the floor, I was like, I'm not going to get up because if I get up, he's just going to do it again. So I didn't get up. I laid there for a long ass time. So I guess this motherfucker thought that I was going to always be like that. One day it dawned on me the only reason why he act like this is because I let him. Because I see other women that he talk to and shit like that. He don't ever do them like that. And he's scared of his mama. So one day I was ironing his shirt. He was getting ready to go to work. I was ironing his shirt. I never forget this. And he walked up to me and he said something crazy to me. And I was like, okay. And he was like, okay. And I was like, well, yeah, okay. Right. Well, he pulled out a gun and he put it to my head. And I said, if you're not going to use it, you're going to eat that bitch. And he said, what you say? And he slapped me in my mouth. And I still had that iron in my hand because I was ironing this motherfucker's shirts. Well, when he slapped me, I swallowed the blood that was in my mouth because I was just that fucking mad. And when I swallowed the blood, I turned around and I stuck him in the back with that iron. And I didn't just stick him once. I stuck him 3 times. Because by the 3rd time, his flesh was on the iron. That bitch was sizzling like bacon. And I didn't even know that this motherfucker voice could be that goddamn high-pitched. But because I'm Magical Lady Duchess, and I always have been, and I'm such a sweetie, I took him to the ER. And when they asked him what happened, he was trying to give them this crazy story. And I said, well, he hit me. I was ironing his shirt. And I told him, don't hit me. And he did. And so since he liked to hit, I hit his ass back. But I had the iron in my hand. So he got the... To this day, this was over 20 years ago. To this day, this motherfucker still got the marks on his back. I'm sure. Shaped like triangles. Keep your motherfucking hands to yourself. But anyway, my point is... My point is, if you fear things, you choose to give them power. And that's what I don't want y'all to do. Y'all have allowed seeds that was planted to you by your mom who didn't have a good relationship with her mom. Well, what the hell do you expect for her to have with you? What do you expect for her to have with you? Remember what I said. A lot of this stuff is generational. It's like stair steps. It's like one after the other, after the other, after the other. Never really knowing what your worth is, because that's what it boiled down to. If you fear them, then you haven't learned to deal with them. And not dealing with them only makes you fear them even more. When what you deny and hide from, it only creates bigger and more powerful forms of fear, which allows those spirits and dark forces to really latch on and take a hold of you. And then all of a sudden, all you're doing is living those terrible moments over and over again. I say this all the time because I try to live a transparent life. When I was 14 years old, I was raped by a family member. That's right, Chandra. I was raped by a family member. and I bore a daughter at 15. My mom and them thought that they were doing me a favor by giving her away to some people, and I will move on with my life and be this great person or whatever the case may be. Well, I did become this great person, of course. But it took me many years to get there because I feared everything after that point. I thought that everybody was going to always be taking stuff away from me. So a part of me never learned to fight for anything. I just let it be. If it happened to me, it was meant to happen to me. I deserved it. It had to be something that I've done, you know. With you guys knowing that, most of you know that I'm adopted, and it was like it had to be something wrong with me, but I was adopted within family though. When your own mama don't want you, you really got to be a bad person. That's what I kind of thought. And my mother, my great aunt who raised me, is who I call my mother. She fed that fear. She fed that fear. You know, I'm the only one that's gonna love you. Your own mama didn't even want you. Saying stuff like that. So again, what you deny and hide from, it only creates bigger and more powerful forms of fear. I can't say that enough. When I stood up and said, I don't give a fuck what nobody think about me, including you. I was maybe 15, 16 then at that point. And I think what planted that seed was taking my baby away from me. Because I thought, what the fuck else do I have to lose? Now, at 38, I laugh all the time, and you would never think that there's still something that's in the back of my mind. My baby. I have another daughter. Love my baby to death. She's in the United States Air Force, and mommy is so proud. However, I always wonder, and I'm hopeful for my first daughter. But that's something I had to deal with. I used to wouldn't even talk about it. Now I could talk about it, and now I don't even cry. It's just a part of something that happened. But do you get what I'm saying about when you deny and you hide from things, it only creates a bigger and more powerful form of fear. And I don't want anybody to fear anything. I want you guys to be able to let it go. The next thing is you have to be you have to be in the place where paying attention to them, focusing on them, those spirits and stuff. You have to be in a place where you don't do that. Again, this is all about not giving stuff life. Y'all need to learn how to pluck these roots, and y'all ain't got that shit flying around you and being in your home and all this other stuff that people tell me about all the time. I don't live that life, and for a very long time I didn't. Now, the more work that you do, the more involved that you get to do in any divination, that's when a lot of that stuff is going to come out, because that veil in your life is becoming thinner. That third eye, that chakra is becoming open. So you're going to be exposed to a whole bunch of stuff that's around you. So I want you guys to be cognizant and aware of that. I also too want to explain something, that demons are, I guess, are dark forces or spirits, that they're the same thing, and they're not. Demons are like non-human dark energy, negative and fear-based beings who are tasked or sent to this planet with the intent of causing serious harm to people and disrupting life to the greatest extent possible. Spirits, ghosts, human souls, or at the time of death did not choose to cross over to the next world. Anubis, you letting people slide? But because they did not choose to cross over, they got stuck on the earth. And they either their whole souls or soul fragments. And both spirits and dark forces, they attach to people, but they have different intentions and agendas. What you mean? You should say this. I'm trying to think. Look, that threw me off. Both spirits and demon and dark forces attached to people, but they have different intentions and agendas. Spirits are mostly interested in using people for energy, while dark forces are interested in stealing people's power, light, and their soul. So that's the difference. I'm gonna say it again. Spirits are mostly interested in using people for their energy, But while dark forces are interested in stealing people's power, their light, and their soul. Okay, so another thing. People have issues with you have to be hearing voices or be crazy to be possessed by something. And that's kind of both true and false. You don't have to be severely like possessed or have a spirit or like I'm trying to think how I want to say it. People who hear voices and talk to beings that are not real, they are possessed not by something bad all the time, but they are like in tune with the spiritual world. Most people ain't on that level. They not. But because to be on that level, you truly had to have something like a serious trauma, or something open up those serious doorways in your life. Most people are partially kind of possessed like that, because that's really what it is a possession. Voodoo speaking. Yeah, like you're still fully functional, meaning you're able to have a job, you're able to have friends, you're able to have normal things in life, except that you have thoughts, emotions, energies that are partially influenced by small amounts of spirits and dark forces. Again, small amounts you guys can cleanse. Remember to love, forgive. This is a way when you don't do that. Most people do not open doorways big enough for like massive amounts of spirits and dark energy to enter. Most people open small doorways so that they get like a few things like attached to them and stuff like that. My cell phone isn't working. Had to get my computer to type. I just found your channel a couple of hours ago. Oh, okay. Well, great. You're saying exactly what I need to get clarity for months. All this is exactly what I'm going through. Oh, well, great. Well, not great if you having issues like that, but great that you found a source to help you. I hope I'm giving you some type of hope or something like that. People that use like drugs and stuff and alcohol users tend to pick up more... Hi, Kevin. They tend to pick up more serious type of dark energies, only because they're doing things to alter their natural state of being. I used to smoke an extreme amount of marijuana. Okay, I did. Saw shit flying all across my room and everything else. And I realized when I stopped doing it, thank you. I realized when I stopped doing it, I stopped having as many, and then they became more intentional, like telling me things. Hi. So I think that if you are a heavy drug user and stuff like that, don't be surprised. If a spirit or something is attached to you, would you know it? I don't know. I mean, some of us, like I said, they have stuff. We have stuff that's attached to us since, childhood. So, again, a lot of things what you go through, you think, I'm cleansing myself. I'm doing everything. Remember, generational, ancestral, y'all need to be doing reversals and stuff like that on your family name, cleansing your family name. Vivian, you can email me at magicalladyduchess at gmail.com, and that's MAGICKAL ladyduchess at gmail.com. That's like the best way. Or you can go on my website, magicalladyduchess.com. You guys can Google me. I don't know how I feel about telling people, just Google me. Okay, so anyway, would you know? Yeah, you do know. Because you do know in a way, because I'm going to say the people that just can't get it right. They seem like they just can't get it right. And it was like, I don't know what it is. And I think that's important to know that and to understand it. That a lot of this is not you. A lot of us are carrying burdens from our family name. We are. Most healers, 99% of like preachers, priests, and ministers, and psychic mediums, they don't really know. Nobody really knows a clear-cut way to remove them for good other than, doing some witchcraft and stuff like that, because you got to meet it where it is, Everybody do have techniques, though. I think that if this is something that you have, this is something that you have to make an effort to cleanse yourself. Jesus. What about Jesus? Calling on him ain't gonna get it either. That ain't gonna clear it either. I think that spirits and demons and dark forces are all fear-based beings. That's just my opinion. You can argue with me back and forth. I don't care. I don't. This is my channel. You don't like it, just, block me or go the fuck on. But I'm telling you, this is what I believe. A lot of people ask me questions about this, and this is why I'm explaining it in the way that I'm explaining it, because people have asked me so many questions about this. And I did a video on dark energy and stuff when you first get into Wiccan and, following the path. But this was a little bit more meaty, so to speak. I believe that spirits and demons and dark forces, they're all fear-based beings. And any person that uses that is also... Any person that uses that is also fear-based will not remove them. Meaning, if I'm scared of them, I can't help you because I'm scared too. And, what is that doing? There's a dark side to healing. And some healers are not working with the light, and they may cause you more problems before you even encountered them. Ask questions and notice their responses, and, make sure that they're doing the right thing and not the wrong thing, because some people are energy thieves. They are energy stealers. They will use dark magic to pull your light out of you, and then you feel like your life is about to do shit and you about to commit suicide. So be very careful. I'm always telling y'all to be very careful of the people that you let do work on you too. And I'm not saying you have to choose me for me to do work, because, I don't like doing work for everybody anyway. Woo, I don't like doing work for everybody. The money ain't good enough for me like that. And trust me, they will offer, and I will turn their ass down too. Because I get some of the crazy. I really need to start doing story time. Because, baby, when I get some of these stories, what do I recommend? For I'm gonna get to that. I will tell you this. Some dark forces and dark spirits, they like more certain people, or more type of people than some, Some people have a unknown ability within themselves, and if they develop that ability or a gift, it might cause them to become threats to the dark forces. So, of course, they will try to attack them. These people may be called light workers or something of nature. That's why a lot of y'all who are called to this path go through so much. Y'all go through so much, and you think, why me? You think the person next to me, they not going through half the stuff. Okay, well, that's great. That's a great idea. I think that anybody who is messing with the consciousness and messing with energy and stuff like that, I think you open doors. I think the best thing to do is to create a space where you can cut the cords to this stuff and cleanse yourself in a mighty way. And I'm talking about spiritual bathing, Cleansing a lot with lemons is a good cleansing tool. Some root, and some lemons is a great cleansing tool. But to much is, given, much is required. And a lot of you guys are like super, super gifted. And it comes with a cost. I tell people all the time that tell me, oh, I want to be a healer. No, you don't. But anyway, like I'm dwindling down. I'm talking for 45 minutes. That's a long fucking time. Your own fears are good. They're healthy and they're a natural part of being a human being. However, you cannot stop having fears, right? That's false. That's bullshit. Fear is not a natural part of being a human being. Deal with y'all shit. You have trained yourself to fear. It's a learned response. A learned response. It is how animals, they don't have a self-control function. They don't have that. But that's also a choice. It is how you choose, or you choose to have chosen through like wrong habits and wrong ideas and wrong lifestyles for you. It's how people feel about themselves because they are disempowered. If you spend most of your life angry because of stuff that's happened to you, you got a bunch of shit going on with you. Get yourself together. Pluck them fucking roots. For real. It's a lower form of energy, and it will attract a lower form of energy. I cannot stress this enough. It's the law of attraction too. If all you think is negative and that's how you programmed your brain and processed your brain to think is negative, what do you think is going to be around you? What do you think? What do you think is going to be around you? If you are putting that negative type of energy, what about a person who's always run from magic and occult, but they're not? Well, I mean, the path, when it calls you, it calls you. You can't run away from it because it's who you're supposed to be. And the more you run from it, the more situations are going to occur where the only thing you have is magic. And magic really is yourself. You're magic. You're the stardust. It's you. It's your belief system and yourself. I can do 100 spells for people. But if they don't believe that I can do them, if I don't believe that I can do them, guess what? Guess what? It won't work. You are your greatest manifestation. You guys should be so great with this at this point that y'all like literally touching shit and shit is just falling in your hands. Get past your fear. Fear is also an energy. It's the lowest frequency and vibration. It's the lowest of the low. The lowest of the low. The paranoia. The fear-based thinking. If there's anything that you fear, then it becomes a part of yourself that has not been healed. You got to get past that. It's a part of you that's connecting to a lower level of energy, and it's repressing it or denying it, but it'll only make it grow and be more powerful. I don't want y'all to do that. Fear encompasses like so many things beyond our thoughts and emotions. Like your energy, your vibration, your frequency. Every human has certain vibration or energetic frequency. And the vibration is also connected to fear. You may not be afraid of many things, but that does not say that your energy does not vibrate at the fear level. For instance, many people completely unknown to themselves feed and live in a life force of energy of other people. People like having this. They're emotional vampires. They're draining. They needy. They empty people. These are those type of people who are in a very dark and low vibrational place. Fear. Now, these people may project confidence, may project being happy, may project being positive. They may project being all those things, and yet their energy and their aura emanates a low level of fear-based energy. And not only is it that, but they're feeding off of you and they're deflecting onto you, feeding off of you, deflecting onto you. That power, oh, it will tear you down. I'm going to say this and then I'm going to let this go. Fear is an illusion. It's an illusion designed to disempower you. It's an illusion designed to keep you locked in the structure or the physics of a psychological and spiritual dimension. Fear is a dimension. In the reality, fear has no power except the power that you give it. A lot of this is our parents have put this into us. Christianity has put this into us. There's been a combination of things that have created this. And it is huge and it's big and it will destroy you. Fear has no power except the power that you give it. That's how you get rid of all those dark spots and spaces and entities. You ask, and it's how I'm telling you. You can do all the cleansing in the world, but you don't forgive nobody. What the fuck you think what it's going to do is going to sit there? The work is on you. I hope you guys enjoyed my video about dark energy and dark forces. And I'm sure maybe some of you guys are not going to like it. And I just wanted to talk about it. And I wanted to do a live video talking about it. Even though I had to try 15 times. I'm going to get better at this shit. But anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for everything. I never imagined when I decided to go public and live and all this good stuff would happen. I would meet so many different people. Thank you guys. I love you. Blessed be. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You have no idea like what you guys give me on my lowest day. Some things I will, let me see. Hold on. Oh, thank you, Simone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. These are some things like when you are doing like a prayer or you're doing like a blessing, you can actually pray over some white sage and burn it like in a metal bowl with some growing sage, some rosemary in front of it. And you can put some rosemary in front of your house, in the back of your house. That's helpful too. The rosemary will also aid you in your memory. Garlic is popular too. You can kind of time strings of garlic and kind of put them outside. Smudging, a singing bowl, some holy water. You can get this from, a pastor or a priest or whatever you believe in it. If you have to see it to, to work, it's not going to work that way. You got to believe. You got to believe it's going to work. Salt is good too. Rock salt, sea salt. Add you much water as you feel that's right. To cleanse and protect your home. Use the fingertips to, or unused brush to, oh, well, that's great. Catholic churches have free holy water. I need to get some for some of my spells. Use your fingertips or unused brush to like smear the salt around the walls and windows of your door of every home. You can also put it in a spray bottle and spray your walls, carpet, chairs, etc. You may also want to put a little sea salt and stuff for your skin. It really helps for like muscles and circulation as well. Crystals, different type of crystals, you can hang them in your doorway. Crystals are really popular, like a feng shui, to like clear unwanted energy and attract, depending on what color you have you have charged it with. Of course, we know candles. Light a white candle in each room and pray over it. Let it burn out to the end. That's another way to cleanse your home. Clapping. You probably think that that's crazy, but negative energy doesn't like sound. It doesn't like sound, like to be quiet. That way it can just sit there and fuck with you. But negative energy doesn't like sound. You clapping and your bells. You know, some of you guys have bells on your altars. Good. Take some notes. Also, like flowers. Flowers will help keep peace in your home. I guess that's why you always see them on dinner tables and stuff like that. But put some fresh flowers, some live flowers in the main room of your house. That'll kind of help too. Clean your room, your closets, bathroom, bathtub. Like, do all that. Keep a clean house. Scents. It is. Yes. Since everything vibrates energy, so everything reacts to it in a certain way as well. That's why aromatherapy works so well. Scents stimulate different emotions, memories, moods. You scented candles, air fresheners, dish soap, changing products from, cleaning products with aromatherapy, that'll help too. Sunlight, vitamin D. Vitamin D is great. Some people are vitamin D deficient. That's where depression and stuff come in because your body is needing the sunlight and stuff like that. Look. Okay. Somebody, come on, lashes. Yes. I want lashes so long and thick that when I sit next to you and I bat my eyes, your face get cold. Because I just didn't. Yeah. Thank you. I love good lashes. I will spend money on some mink lashes and I will have them lashes forever. Egyptian incense is a nice. Yes, it is. I'm telling you. Smelling good always is good. Ways to kind of cleanse yourself. Rituals are always a symbolic way to release old hurts. Remember, those were those fears. Prepare for new goals. Everyone encounters negativity in their life, including gossip, work, breakups, losses. But this can really help you unblock spiritually. That is correct. What is that? RBOLO 29. Yeah. What was I saying? Okay. So, cleansing yourself. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Chicken foot. The chicken foot. That's a little hoodoo shit right there. But chicken foot is a wonderful tool to help you for cleansing. The chicken foot scratches up mess. So by scratching yourself lightly with the chicken foot, you'll be removing negative energy from yourself. And this is a simple way, but it's an effective way to cleanse yourself. You heard it from me first. Also, like a cleansing sprinkle. For this, you need a bottle, a sprinkler head. It's the type of, like, the older days for, like, ironing. You can add a little salt, a little Florida water, holy water, and fill the rest from the faucet. And once you're ready, you can kind of sprinkle yourself by reading Psalms 23. Yeah. And remember to do those feet with that. Oh, Lord, it's just so many. I'm going to do one more. A rub down. An alcohol base is used to make a spiritual rub down. You can add herbs to it, to the alcohol. You can kind of pray over it and then rub yourself in a downward motion while praying. Candle cleansing, candle prayers. Yeah. So I'm going to end this video because I can go on and on and on about cleansing stuff. If you guys are interested in work or anything else, thank you. I appreciate it. I love you guys again. I didn't give y'all a bunch of tips. But if you are interested, you can always go to my website at magicalladyduchess.com. You can Google me. You can also email me at magicalladyduchess@gmail.com. That's MAGICKAL. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys enjoyed the pointers that I gave you. And blessed be. Bye for now.